إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وبعد. فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد. The topic of my Jum'ah khutbah is Jannah, the ultimate abode of the believers. What is the meaning of the word Jannah? The word Jannah, it is derived from the root word Jim Noon Noon, that is Jannah. And this is mentioned in Lisan al-Arab, volume number 13, page number 92. This is the linguistic definition of Jannah. It is derived from Jim Noon Noon, which means satara, which means to conceal, which means to hide. Various Arabic words are derived from the word Jannah. For example, from this root word Jannah. For example, Majnoon, which means an insane person. For example, Junoon, which means insanity. Also Jinn, because they are concealed from our vision. Majnoon, that is an insane person because his mind is concealed. What does Jannah mean? Jannah, it refers to beautiful gardens. And in Islamic terminology, Jannah, it refers to paradise that is awaiting for the believers in the afterlife, in the next life. And why is it called as Jannah? Because it is concealed from our vision. We cannot see it in the life of this world. There are various names of Jannah that are mentioned in the glorious Quran, no less than 14 different names. Time does not permit me to discuss all the names, but inshallah, I will discuss 8 names from among the 14 names of Jannah that are mentioned in the glorious Quran. The first and the most common name of Jannah that is mentioned in the glorious Quran, it is the name Jannah itself. Jannah or Al-Jannah, it is mentioned in the glorious Quran no less than 76 times. And its plural, Jannah, it is mentioned in the glorious Quran no less than 67 times. The word Jannah, Al-Jannah and Jannah, all these 3 words, they are mentioned in the glorious Quran no less than 143 times. Jannah or Al-Jannah is mentioned in the glorious Quran several times. In Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 35. In Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 82. In Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 111. In Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 214. In Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 265, as well as 266. As well as in Surah Al-Imran, chapter number 3, verse number 185. No less than 76 times this word Jannah or Al-Jannah it is mentioned, which refers to paradise that is awaiting for the believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, in Surah Al-Imran, chapter number 3, verse number 185, Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Every soul shall have a taste of death. وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفَّوْنَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. But the final recompense, it will be in the afterlife, in the next life. فَمَنْ زُحْزِحَ عَنِ النَّارِ, and whosoever is saved from hellfire, وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ, and he is admitted into the gardens of paradise, indeed he is successful. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ, and the life of this world, it is nothing except chattels of deception. In this verse of the glorious Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is telling us that every soul shall have a taste of death. And the final recompense, the final accountability, it will be in the afterlife. So the ultimate reward, the ultimate success, the ultimate joy for the believers is when they will enter the gardens of paradise, when they will enter Jannah. And this is what we all need to strive for in the life of this world. The second most common name of Jannah that is mentioned in the glorious Quran, it is Jannah to Adn. And this is mentioned in the glorious Quran no less than 11 times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran in Surah Al-Bayyinah, chapter 98, verse number 8, جَزَاؤُهُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ جَنَّاتُ عَدْنٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا. Their reward is with their Lord, in gardens beneath which rivers flow. They will abide therein forever. رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. Allah is well pleased with them and they are well pleased with Him. ذَلِكَ لِمَنْ خَشِيَ رَبَّهُ. That is for the one who fears his Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The ultimate reward, the ultimate success for the believers is when in the afterlife they will be admitted into the gardens of paradise. They will be admitted into Jannah. The third most common name of Jannah that is mentioned in the glorious Quran, it is Darul Akhirah. What does Darul Akhirah mean? Dar, it means abode, and Akhirah, it means hereafter. So Darul Akhirah, it means the abode of the afterlife, of the hereafter. And this is mentioned in the glorious Quran no less than 9 times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran in Surah Naik, chapter number 16, verse number 13. وَقِيلَ لِلَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا مَاذَا أَنزَلَ رَبُّكُمْ قَالُوا خَيْرًا. And when we said to those who fear their Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the believers, what has your Lord revealed? قَالُوا خَيْرًا. Then that is only good. لِلَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا فِي هَذِهِ الدُّنْيَا حَسَنًا. For those who have done good in the life of this world. وَلَدَارُ الْآخِرَةِ خَيْرٌ. And the home of the hereafter, it is better. In this verse of the glorious Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used the words Darul Akhirah, the abode of the hereafter. This is one of the names of Jannah. This abode, it is reserved for the believers, those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who are the believers and those who are Muslims. The fourth name from among the various names of Jannah that is mentioned in the glorious Quran, it is Jannah Naik. And this is mentioned in the glorious Quran no less than 7 times. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, Surah Al-Qalam, chapter 68, verse 34, إِنَّ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ جَنَّاتُ النَّعِيمِ. That for the muttaqeen, those who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the believers, those who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for them is Jannat al-Na'im. That is the gardens of bliss, referring to paradise. The fifth name from among the names of Jannah that I mentioned in the glorious Quran, it is Jannatul Ma'wa. And regarding Jannatul Ma'wa, it is mentioned in the glorious Quran no less than 2 different places. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, Surah Al-Nazi'at, chapter 79, verse 40 and 41. وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ وَنَهَى النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَى. As for the one who fears the standing before his Lord and he prevents himself from the desires, فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. Then paradise, it will be his abode. The believers, those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who stay away from their desires, from their whims, for them Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised paradise. And not only this, these are the believers who will enter higher ranks in Jannah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, Surah Al-Najm, chapter 53, verse 15, regarding Jannatul Ma'wa, عندها Jannatul Ma'wa, that in this verse of the glorious Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used the word Jannatul Ma'wa, which refers to the abode of paradise. The sixth name of Jannah that is mentioned in the glorious Quran, it is Darus Salam. What does Darus Salam mean? Dar, it means abode, and Salam, it means peace. So Darus Salam, it is the abode of peace. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran in Surah Yunus chapter 10 verse number 25, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse of the glorious Quran, He's talking about Darus Salam. Wallahu yad'u ila Darus Salam. And Allah invites you towards Darus Salam. The believers will be invited towards paradise. That is the abode of peace. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, Surah Al-An'am, chapter 6, verse 127, لَهُمْ دَارُ السَّلَامِ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ. That for them is Darus Salam, the abode of peace with their Lord. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised the believers that they will have peace, happiness and satisfaction in the home of the hereafter when they will be admitted into paradise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran in Surah Al-Zumar chapter 39 verse number 73, وَسِيقَ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا رَبَّهُمْ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ زُمَرًا. And when those who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they approach the gates of paradise. حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءُوهَا وَفُتِحَتْ أَبْوَابُهَا. These are the people when they enter the gates of paradise, when they approach the gates of paradise, and the gates of paradise will be opened for them. وَقَالَ لَهُمْ خَزَنَتُهَا سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ طِبْتُمْ فَادْخُلُوهَا خَالِدِينَ. And the gatekeepers will tell them, peace be upon you. You are blessed. So enter into it. That is, enter into the gardens of paradise. And in paradise, the believers, they will abide in it forever. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, in Surah Yasin, chapter 36, verse 58, Salamun qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. That a word of peace from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the Lord most merciful. Imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who's promising us that we will have peace and tranquility in the hereafter when we will be admitted into the gardens of paradise. Imagine being welcomed by the angels and the gates are open for us believers on when we are entering paradise. What a great honor. And the believers will not have any sorrow, nor any grief, nor any anguish. But in paradise there will only be peace, happiness and satisfaction. This is the ultimate peace. This is the ultimate reward. This is the ultimate success that we believers hope for. The seventh from among the names of Jannah that are mentioned in the glorious Quran, it is Al-Firdaus. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran in Surah Al-Kahf, chapter number 18, verse number 107. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Jannatul Firdaus, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ كَانَتْ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتُ الْفِرْدَوْسِ نُزُلًا. That those who believe and do righteous deeds, their abode, it will be Jannatul Firdaus. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the glorious Quran, Surah Al-Mu'minun, chapter 23, verse number 11. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the qualities of the believers in the first few verses of Surah Al-Mu'minun. And in verse number 11, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْفِرْدَوْسَ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. These are the ones who will inherit Jannatul Firdaus and they'll abide therein. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the qualities of the believers, those who are regular, those who are steadfast in their prayer, and those who have khushu in their prayer, those who are chaste. And these are the believers who will inshallah enter paradise. And not only enter paradise, but they will enter inshallah the highest level in paradise. The eighth from among the names of Jannah that I mentioned in the glorious Quran, it is Jannatul Khuld. And regarding this, it is mentioned in the glorious Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Furqan, chapter 25, verse number 15, أَذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ أَمْ جَنَّةُ الْخُلْدِ? Is that better than the life of this world, or Jannatul Khuld, which refers to paradise? So there are several names of Jannah that are mentioned in the glorious Quran. Time does not permit me to discuss all of these names. So we should see to it that we strive and struggle in order to achieve this ultimate goal, this ultimate success, that is paradise. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم الجليل لي ولكم.